whole time that they had you. You're like, no, I already learned that lesson. I learned it.
Learned a new word a day.
Yeah. You're going to start reaping the benefits.
Thank you for allowing me to get myself ready for tonight's new segment, or today's new segment, whenever you land on this message. It's called StorieZz's Campfire Stories.
Cash in on your policy, okay? Time for you guys to cash in on your policy. You have a spirit team. Let's use that. You have angels, ancestors. You have magic.
I'll be right back, guy. Grab
so
something.
The enemy,
Oh yeah, got a blank card too. Shit.
the whoever's want to meet you in the schoolyard. They want to meet you at the playground. They have no idea. They have no idea. Heaven has your back. Heaven. Heaven. Do they have heaven? No. They probably got little Bobby and little Becky Sue, and that's who they got. And they're gonna get their ass beat. Okay? It reminds me of old school Jersey Shore with JWoww. She's like, you can stay here and get your ass beat, or you can stay here and get your ass beat.
I love her. Childlike spirit. So
That's basically what you're saying. You're like, we're magical warriors. You can stay here and get your, or you can stay here and get your. You choose. That's like when I'm kicking somebody out of the bar. Okay, let me not put this back into the deck. Okay. When somebody's sassing me, I'm like, oh, you must not know about me. Oh, okay, let me acquaint you with the facts. Hold on. You have 30 seconds to find your tab and your credit card, okay? You have 30 seconds to figure out if you're going to leave on your own recognizance or you're going to leave on your face. You choose. You choose. You choose. Ooh, 12-12.
12-12, baby.
Like, you choose. I can't.
Appreciate everybody's patience.
You want to leave on your face. And as a person that's been arrested, a time of 5, okay? There's a lot of times I did not choose my recognizance, okay? I chose my face. Don't ask me why. That was, and this is now. Don't ask me why. But I needed those lessons. Me being on my face, okay. Me being on my face, you know, maybe they'll thank you for being on their face one day. Like, oh, I should have listened. I should have listened to them. I should have listened to them. But yeah, me being arrested, going through addiction, going through all of the things that I went through. I would not be here without that. I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be the person that I am now. Okay, the last time.
Facts. Okay, thank you all for that patience. I just didn't want to get ADD, OCDs, and just forget. But welcome, and thank you for landing on my channel, the realest show ever. And I just had a download to try it, to attempt a new segment with everybody. It's called StorieZz's Campfire Stories, where we could just jump on here. Let me adjust this camera real quick. There we go. Where we can just jump on here. See my shoulders in the frames now. And forgive me ahead of time. Side note, if some of my videos on Facebook ends up like super close to the screen, sorry, I just saw a reflection in the window. I thought it was the Anunnaki landing and grabbing me now. I was like, is it time? All of a sudden you guys just see the beam through the ceiling or something. Like, what the hell did I just witness? Did he just get abducted? See my toes dangling at the last seam. And it comes down just to play with you guys. Like, what is he doing? I was like, God, damn. It's terrible. Side notes. What was I saying? Yeah, it's a new segment where, thank you, Spirit, where we can just jump on here and have fun and just tell some stories. And hopefully through these stories, breathe in, breath control. Through these stories, we can all learn some impactful lessons. So let's just jump into it before I get too Bill Cosby-ish and Richard Pryor-ish and, all the pleasantries and all that stuff. So I was sitting there listening to my Cosmic Collective, and there's so many confirmations tonight. It's just awesome how the spirit works. When you turn into the spirit network, it's like you can never go wrong, especially for us overthinkers. Like you just sit there in silence, and a lot of the time, when you're in the self-development isolation period, we overthink and we talk ourselves out of our blessings through all the trauma we went to, because we don't realize how traumatized we are. So it helps, thank you, Spirit, to tune into the spirit network to get that confirmation. Some people may not agree with that method, and that's okay. This path is not for everybody. But once you know, then you know. There's nothing to question. There's no coincidence. Everything coincides. That'll be for another lesson for another time. I learned that from Rashad Jamal about witchcraft. In the words, every word has frequencies. So what the colonizers did, they manipulated a lot of our words to keep us trapped in a certain frequency so we won't expand. Hence the Democrats had all these programs implemented to keep the families apart so we won't bond and be a solid family, so we won't get our memories back that's locked inside of our vessels. So much stuff going on. It's so awesome. And the IRS is supposedly about to get, a lot of people's getting fired, but they may just get rid of IRS completely just get rid of it. Because there's so much corruption. It's awesome. And they're finding all this money that's been just misappropriated and billions of dollars going towards just stupid stuff that should have been going in our pockets. I know this segment is called StorieZz's Campfire Stories. We're going to get to that, but these downloads are coming. I need to express it now. And just everything is happening that should have been happened so many years ago is happening now. It's so awesome. And you have to weave through the BS and the buzzwords, because you got to remember fake news does exist, and the people that are still trapped on that fear frequencies, talking heads timeline. Slow down. The media knows how to get you riled up and irritated and more division conversations. Oh, did you hear that Elon Musk is doing this, and Steve Bannon? And there's so much stuff going on that I need to do research with. But what's happening now, the frequency is just phenomenal. It just feels like we're finally seeing some liberation. It could be a grand scam. A lot of people are saying that too, but it's all about feeling. And I'm feeling this is like the best timeline to be on versus the timeline we could have been on. So enough of that. Let's just get into the StorieZz's Campfire Stories. All right. I was thinking there on my throne. It's kind of vain of me, right? My Al Bundy seat. Of a good way to inspire individuals on how to use your creativity or their creativity. I was thinking about that from the Spirit team. And Spirit team was like, yo, why don't you tell people real life stories about your imagination when you were doing music and you were infiltrating places, and how you met a lot of celebrities, and how you, with your skills of infiltration and meeting the right people at the right time and promoting your CD or whatever the case was, you made things happen with your imagination. Like I said in a few videos back, everything starts with our imagination, right? Everything starts from a thought, and then it becomes tangible for it to exist in this 3D realm. But enough of that for now. So like when Spirit Team was like, yo, just tell them stories about like how many times you infiltrated backstage and you did this and X, Y, Z. I was like, oh, that's perfect. Especially for people that doubt themselves and their abilities. And if this video happens to cut out at all, I'll use technology to merge them. But just remember tonight's download or today's download, whenever you land on this message, because it's timeless. It resonates, when it's meant to resonate. So when you find it, it's not coincidental or ironic. It's meant for you at that exact time you find it, when you land on it. So like if you're like nervous, this message can help you get inspired and build your confidence up. Okay, so let's do this. Let's take it back to an origin story, Campfire Stories. welcome to the first episode, the pilot of StorieZz's Campfire Stories. By the way, you love the campfire behind me. My back is nice and toasty. I'm smelling the log fumes, smelling the s'mores getting burnt and crispy, and people say, "Oh, let me get another marshmallow." Stop falling asleep over there, man. I was about to say, stop falling asleep over there, Jimmy. That's probably going to be the Where's Waldo fictional character name just from here on out. But all my Jimmys out there, you know I fuck with you. But if it resonates, then it resonates. Hopefully it elevates. If it resonates, hopefully it elevates. So let's go back to an origin story, right? So I used to daydream a lot. Very hyper-imaginative kid. I used to be in school. It didn't resonate with me, a lot of the stuff, so I would just drift off and think about getting back home, playing Double Dragon, Kung Fu, Mario Brothers, Akari Warriors, Castlevania, Simon's Quest, DuckTales, whatever I was playing back then. Codename Viper, I mean, shit, I was on, come on now. So as soon as Nintendo came out, it fucked up a lot of kids, because when you went to school, you were just imagining that controller in your hand, like, I can't wait to get home and fantasize and go in that world. Because that was our first virtual reality, when we think about it, was Nintendo. It took us to a realm that we never thought possible. And it took us out of this 3D reality into the metaverse. So they knew what they were doing with the indoctrination, but that helps with this story. So I used to daydream a lot in class and just in life. And the movies I would be watching, Indiana Jones, Star Wars, or, you know, cartoons, Thundercats, He-Man, the Justice League, superhero, what's the Justice League? Or Spider-Man, whatever, you know, Batman and Superman and the Justice League, something, you know, the cartoon, whatever. So I used to watch a lot of those cartoons, and I used to really think I could be those heroes. And I would just think I had those powers. But to speed it up, based off my imagination, and then MTV landed in our laps in our homes. You remember those days when we first saw MTV? I want my MTV. I want my MTV. And all the images, they'll flash in front of you. That's the first subliminal stuff we started getting used to, the astronaut and TV, all that stuff. You remember that stuff. All them abstract images, they'll just flash before a video popped up. Or before MTV started, whatever, you know, in commercials, transitions. Then I started imagining me being the rock star, being on stage and just captivating the world with my talent. Me and my brothers all did. Not all of us. But from that childhood imagination, then we get to college and, you know, high school, we start freestyling, you know what I mean, getting drunk, smoking in the cars, smoking out the whips and just having some beats on, and then your boys and shit just spitting, and then, you know, oh shit, man, that's dope, you do some mixtapes. And then you toss yourselves out there in the Lion's Den, and you do some shows at some bars, you do some open mics, and then people gravitate to you, and then people say, hey, why don't you put together a group? And you do that, shout out to Kirsten. And then at College Park, we put together the mastermind shit, and then we start going out there and gravitating, and then people started booking us for shows, all right? And long story short, that'll be another time for the origin of that. But the point of this message and this story download is to show you confidence, because I used to be very shy when I was a kid, but my imagination and something inside of me knew I can do it. Like when I saw the show Saved by the Bell, I always emulated, I was like a black version of Zach Morris. I would make the scene and everything stop. Pull out my phone. All right, Mr. Belding, I need you to come to this class and actually give me a sick note, because I want to go out there and see Lisa. And she's fine. Yeah, let me get some extra time out in the recess, and then I won't tell everybody you're wearing a toupee. All right. And Screech will cover for me. All right. All right, guys. You know what I'm saying? If you're a Saved by the Bell fan, then you know. So I'd always test those things and tactics in school, and that shit worked. Because people, like something back then, I didn't even know what I was doing, but I was like, if this works on a TV show, and if people are gravitated to this TV show at a certain time, this is called a program, if you know, you know, because you're programming us. So once I saw that show, then something inside me was like, well, let me try this when I go to class next and see if it works. I mean, of course, I got tossed in the principles a lot, but some of these tactics worked because the wittiness. And I guess it worked because if so many people liked the show, I guess subliminally, they liked those tactics that made them laugh. So when they saw it in real life, subliminally, they didn't know what was going on. And so they unsubconsciously just allowed that action to happen until they got out that spell. What the fuck's going on? So get the fucking pistols off. You know what I mean? So it's a way of, you know how to use your powers. So where I'm getting at, speed it up. So I used to do that, and I still do that. My imagination is powerful when I hone into it. That's where I just had fuck my hair, some of the hair fell in my mouth. So when we got to do open mics and stuff like that, my brothers always made me responsible for, you better go see the DJ, you better talk to the boss, you have a way of getting in there. Because I used those tactics all through my life, and I'm still using them, you know, because I'm infinite. So, you know, I was back in a different timeline. So my older brother was like, all right, so you're going to go in there, you're going to talk to them. So I was known as the grease man. I always get in places because I would play that character role, because in my mind I would imagine, I was like, hey, this is for the greater good. We want to be known as a group, so I'm going to do what it takes ethically to get to the right spot and not follow these protocols and gatekeepers. And we'll get past that to talk to the right person so they can see our music. They'll see the authenticity through me, and they'll love my vibe and my charismatic ways, and it's a lock, it's a wrap. Eye contact, all that good shit. And if you guys see me look up a lot, it's just me, I'm getting my downloads. And it seems like when I look at the screen a lot, then I get distracted and then I go everywhere else. But I always come back to foundation. It's the spirit. So I would always do it for the greater good. Thank you, spirit. Whew, baby J's. So it wouldn't feel like I'm lying, you know what I mean, to the person, the security guard. So let's just get to a scenario. So we're 17 minutes in. I don't want this download to be too long. I just want to experiment this new segment called Zzz's Campfire Stories with you all, and then you let me know if you like it or not. So I love telling stories. This is how God and Spirit Team wants me to be therapeutic. It helps me channel everything and transmute my energies through my experiences. God just told me the other day, he's like, so you don't need to overthink. Slow down. You don't need to overthink, Zoe. All you need to provide the world is valuable experiences. And I was like, oh, what are you talking about? He's like, just tell them everything you went through, and I'll give you the downloads when it's needed to tell us your story in a unique way without feeling too preachy. You blend in the algorithms, you mix everything in, so it's a perfect dish. You won't even know what you're ingesting, but it's all healthy and soulful. And people will love it, because a lot of people go through a lot of what you're doing. There's nothing new under the sun. Just let them know exactly what you're going through, and then those shy people can say, man, okay, if that person can speak up about this, then I can. And then I never saw this situation in this perspective. So that's what one of my duties is amongst many. So let's take you to a time when we went to Vegas, all right? We went to Vegas for the NBA All-Star Weekend, and we were a group by then, okay? Called Flawless, because we're striving to be flawless, you know what I mean? Everyone is striving to be flawless, so we called ourselves Flawless. You know what I mean? Because no one's perfect, but we're striving to be flawless. It was a rap group, and we're just ourselves, and people loved it because they looked at us like, these guys don't look like they are what they are. When we get on stage, we'll tear up the floor. So we all went to Vegas to promote our mixtape album called The Mecca, a double CD that had a lot of artists from the DMV on a project. And we all collaborated like Voltron, and we put together a project that was awesome, still is awesome, legendary. And we started doing shows to promote it. And my brother Marcus and Niels was like, hey, let's go to Vegas because they're doing the NBA All-Star Weekend, and we can display our CDs and promote ourselves. And Alonzo, you can get in the clubs. We know you know. So we get to Vegas the first day. We are in the hotel, Circus. And then a limousine pulls up. And this is all documented, by the way. So we're going to release this footage when I get it back from my brother. I've been wanting that footage so bad, because he knows I'm going to release it, but he has a plan for that. But whew, the Vegas the flawless Vegas trip. So we go to Vegas with a few of our lady friends and so forth. Brooke Bell and Katie LaFranchise and Lauren. Monty, Mike. Was Dave there? Dave wasn't there. Me, Monty, Mike, Marcus, Brooke Bell, Katie, and Lauren and her sister Susan. So we went out there as a group to do our damn thing. So the first night we get there, we all have our own hotel rooms. Yada yada. Thank you, Brooke Bell, for that. You're already a millionaire. So once everything pops up in this orbit, you amongst the first group of people to get blessed. So don't forget that. And Katie, the franchise, I love you all. I love you all. I don't want to get off the topic. But we went there. We held it down for like 7 days, I think. 4 to 7 days. A limousine pulls up. We're balling on budget, right? So Marcus looks at me and is like, all right, Alonzo, let's see if you can get us to the Hard Rock Cafe. So the limousine pulls on up. I walk up there just pulling this out my ass. I stick my head in the window. I was like, hey, man, are you going to the Hard Rock Cafe by any chance? Because we were supposed to be on stage doing a show. I can't remember exactly. We're supposed to be on stage doing a show with some big name groups because there's a lot of celebrities out there for the All-Star Weekend. And we missed our ride. Can you take us there? He looked at me and I thought he was going to tell me to fuck off. He's like, how many people? I look at Marcus and Mike and them. I was like 5 people. And we're filming this too, so it's awesome how the transitions go. You just see me. Marcus is holding the camera when I walk up to the limousine because he wants to document me getting fucking rejected. Oh, so you didn't get in there. It's funny, competitive spirit. Because they want to see you get in, but they want to see you fail at the same time. You know this type of people, but I love them. It's funny. It makes you stronger. It's competitive shit. It makes you do better. But you don't want to get horrid like, okay. So they filming me walk up to the limousine, stick my head in, but they don't know what I'm saying. And then they see me stick my head back out and I do a count. And then I just say, hey guys, come on. And I think Marcus on the camera is like, I'll be damned. And the next transition just shows us in the back of the limousine. I'm smoking cigarettes at that time. He just has the camera on me like, and the limousine's nice, got TVs and shit with like bosses. And then Marcus like, of course Alonzo did it. How did you do it? Again, how much is it? I'm like, it's free. Baby J's. So that's one time. And then we get to this club called like Shadows or something. And then there's a DJ playing the music. And then Marcus is like, all right, man, you got to get our CD. And this message is to build confidence and to use your imagination because anything's possible once you see the plan in your head and you believe in yourself, you can do it, you can bypass anywhere. So I'm going to tell you a few stories of my infiltration. It's about 22 minutes in, and then we'll wrap it up. And hopefully that'll build confidence for you imaginative light warriors and light workers out here, and just Peter Parkers, whatever you are, it doesn't matter. This is hopefully an inspirational campfire story that's factual, but I'm just telling you how I used to be a shy person, then I started stepping into my imagination of, slow down. I started stepping into my imagination suits and powers and testing it out on people and experimenting, social experimenting, and it worked. So I was like, shit, I'm going to take this for the long run. Okay, so we're in a club. There's a DJ in this club called Shadows, our first club in Vegas. And then I see the DJ. And this is how I do it. I'm going to tell you some of the secret, all right? So I sit back in the Shadows like Strider. If you guys are Hobbit fans, when he was smoking that good old pop, the Hobbit Shire weed. And then in the movie, Peter Jackson movie just showed the Hobbits go in when they're running away from the riders and shit. Just looking for the ring on Frodo. And then they get into this bar, pub that houses them. And then there's this one warrior in the corner, and he's perfectly shadowed in like a ninja, and you just see the cherry from his pipe just goes. The scene was shot very cinematically. It was beautiful. So I sit back at every cut when I'm trying to infiltrate somewhere, and I just see people watching. I look at the whole scene. I see where the bouncer is. I see how the routine is. I see if he's letting in pretty girls. I'm seeing if he's charging people money. I'm seeing what the protocol is to get in that spot. So I see it all in my head, and then I do a scenario in my mind and see how I would get there. So I see you have to be outside of the box with your imagination powers. So I would always come up with something. The spirit team would put a character in my mind because I would like to emulate characters in my throughout my experience through school or wherever the scenario was, I would utilize a character I liked to get through that scenario or whatever. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna walk up to that bouncer, change his whole algorithm up. I'm not gonna be here as a fan. I'm gonna be here as somebody important that he will not forget, but so important that he's gonna have to keep it to himself in order to keep his job. He may not know what I'm saying now, but I've already had the plan in my head. So I walk up to that person after I get enough courage, back in that Johnny Courage. Confirmation, bitches. I had to get some more water. I'll go up to that bouncer. You gotta be confident too. You gotta walk like a soldier, walk with business and purpose, because you already see the end goal in your mind. You gotta reverse engineer the scenario. All the possibilities, consequences, whatever. You gotta be prepared for whatever. So I have a suit on. I'm filming all of this too, okay? So I had a small camera from my boy Jonas. He let us borrow back in the day. It was like 2007-ish area, I think. If I'm wrong, fans, peeps, correct me the date. So when I get the courage to go up to the bouncer to do my thing, I know he's gonna pat me down. So I have a camera, the little camera I put in my sleeve. At least that's how I got in the club too. They're patting us down, and I put my... I'm telling you about another club where the ladies were dancing from the ceiling, and it was crazy club. I forgot what it was. So, all right, that's the better infiltration. The other one, I basically got past the DJ and told him some magic, and he spun our shit, and the club heard it was dope. We documented that. That was a small club, first club. The second club was larger, and it had women hanging from sheets in the ceiling and just doing all types of crazy stuff. There was DJs on the stage, and there was an upstairs VIP where Rinky Wright, the boxer, was bounced. He was about to fight, and there's some NFL players. There's a whole bunch of celebrities in that joint that night. Seeing Slim Thug, I forgot the dude, Arena something, the dude that played for the Wizards back in the day. Man, Gilbert Arenas, I think his name was. Saw him. We have him on camera. All right, so we're in this club. I get in there. It's me and my boy walking in there. He's behind me. He knows the game plan because he knows how we get down. So I put a small camera in my sleeve. So when we get patted down, hopefully they won't find it. He missed it. He's like, all right, bet, you guys get in. And then me and Monty look at each other, all right, bet. So I put this small camera in my fucking business coat suit, pocket, whatever. So we're in there, peeping the scene out. And this is where I go back to where I'm peeping out the bouncer that's right next to the stage, letting all the fine women up and whatever, the VIP people. Used to have bracelets. So this time I got a little too brave and too excited because I think I was getting peer pressure. Because yeah, my boys back in the day with peer pressure. Come on, Zoe. And I'm sitting back not telling them plans. Like there's a formula to this. You don't just rush because there's people watchers everywhere. I'm not the only people watcher here. So I got to make sure I study the whole room everywhere. Look for eyes in the room, eyes in the ceiling, yada, yada, before I make my move. I know, right? Some wire shit. So I get a little peer pressured. I go up to the bouncer. He basically puts his hand on me. He's like, no, you don't have no access. Because I was too nervous. I just rushed it. So I had glasses and an orange Fat Farm sweater on. With my glasses and the orange sweater joint on. So I back up. I'm a little embarrassed. I'm like, shit, I normally don't get rejected. Fuck the peer pressure. I'm not going to do that again. Lessons learned, right? Forgive me, that's hungry burps. Actually, no, it's not. We got a quick sponsor. Today's video is brought to you by Life. Yes. Thank you, True Stories, for dropping this knowledge. Look at the ingredients. You can pronounce those things, right? It's the most healthy cereal in the aisle. Doesn't have the paint thinner and all that other stuff that makes your brain pop and you just feel like, what the fuck? Because a lot of times when I eat a lot of these cereals, after I'm done, my brain is just like, shit, this is feeling more than just me being high. What the fuck? It's like it makes your brain feel weird. So Life said, hey, we like what you're doing. Hey, if you're eating healthy, we'll promote your shows, especially with Zoe's Campfire Stories. Get yourself some Life and put the affiliate code ZODOG / Zoe's Campfire Stories. You may get a percentage off. Life. Okay, so let's get back to it. So I get rejected back up since I got peer pressured in there. Thank you, Spirit. I'm like, how can I get in there now? And then all of a sudden, life is like a video game, right? My imagination. If you ask God, you shall receive. Seek, you shall find. So I see these two girls talking, giggling, a little tipsy, right? So I just start stroking my chin, my Gandalf beard, where when I used to have a little goatee. It's like, it's that those two girls highlighted up like a video game item. It's like, okay. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick and do a little costume change, a wardrobe change. You guys may be thinking, well, how do I get a wardrobe? I walked in there with a business suit, but it was starting to get hot, after you drinking a little bit. So I took off my business coat, put it down. When I went in the bathroom, so I put the coat down around my brothers and shit, so it was safe. So I told them I'm about to make my next move. So I see the girls around the bouncer. So I go in the bathroom real quick, do my little Clark Kent change. I take off my glasses, put them in my pocket, take off the orange joint, which is just a bright light. It's a bright flag. People can notice my ass, right? I take the orange joint off, wrap it around my waist. Shit, let me do this. I'm gonna get past this motherfucker. I'm gonna change my identity all up in front of him. Because one of my favorite movies was when John Malkovich played in The Line of Fire with Clint Eastwood. And John Malkovich would change his identity up, and he would just play the character mentally and change some of his cosmetics to get past the person. So I always remember that movie from the 90s. If you know, you know. Look up In the Line of Fire with John Malkovich and Clint Eastwood. I love that movie. So many lines and stuff I learned from that movie about infiltration. That's exactly where I got my infiltration. Is from that movie. So that's where I pay homage from. Is from The Line of Fire. What am I talking about? That's exactly where I got my infiltration from. So I took off my orange sweater, wrapped it around my waist, took off my glasses, walked up to the two females over there, had my camera, documented, because everyone loves 5 minutes of fame. But I'm gonna put my glasses back on so I can get my Superman vision back. Oh, I thought you were a god. You don't need glasses. I have to play it off like I'm human still. Come on now. So I had my glasses off, sweater off, wrapped around my waist, had the camera. I knew girls people like their 5 seconds of fame. They're a little tipsy. So I walk up to them and say, oh, you girls looking pretty, bada bing, bada boom. I'm promoting a CD, bada bing, bada boom. Would you like to be in the Would you like to be in the footage, bada bing? You have to have you have to have their permission before you put their likeness on camera. We knew that back then. Still applies now. You don't want to get sued or cease and desist order. So long story short, you want to be on camera? Yeah, of course we do. So I get comfortable with them. I put my arms around them, and I notice they're going towards the VIP, right? They've been up there already. That's what I forgot. They've been up there already. So I got my hands around them, sitting, we were laughing and shit, having a conversation. We walk up to the bouncer. Bouncer looks at me like he's known me before, but he sees me with the girls. So I seen him already earlier with the girls, how he responds. So he sees me with 2 thick, ebony, bad broads. So I'm around them like this. He looks at me like he know me, but he didn't recognize me. And then since they've been up there already, he's like, all right, give him the head nod. So I'm walking up behind him, trying not to laugh. Like, oh my God, this shit fucking worked. I pulled a John Malky on him. John Malky's. So we get up to the top. And there's a fucking whole tray of fucking liquor and Hennessy and Patron and shit. And there's a guy pushing it out the VIP section. And I'm like, yo, what's up with this? He's like, oh, somebody threw up on it, but we just cleaned the bottles. But, if you want a bottle, go ahead and grab it. And I'm like, shit, let me grab that Patron real quick and Hennessy. It was clean, though. He was clean. So I was like, shit. I didn't take it out the bottle. No, I was just, I had a cup. I found the cup on the joint, sanitized, clean. But I was walking around with the bottle. That was another infiltration tactic. When you have the bottle, you look like you belong. So I get in there. I'm just keeping my heart pounding. This is what it is. Every time I infiltrated somewhere, God said you cannot act like a groupie. You have to act like their power, which is your power, doesn't faze you like everyone else does. They're not fanatic. Oh my God, give me an autograph. You just play cool and calm, and then the celebrities will respect you more, and then you'll get further. And that's exactly what I do all the time. So I get in the room, playing it, I was like, oh my God, this is awesome. And I start the camera, and I'm a CD. That's my marketing tool. That's my golden Willie walking ticket everywhere. So I walk around, see people filming it around. The girls that I came up with, they're all shaking their hands and shit. Oh my God, you joints are thick. And I see everyone else taking shots. I'm taking shots. Like, hey man, hey boom. So I'm walking around my CD, having people on my camera, and then I'll go and I bump into Winky Wright. I said, yo, Winky Wright, man, you a nasty boxer, man. I need you to hold this for 5 seconds, promote to the world. I'm a DMV artist, named Flawless. We will love your credibility behind this project. And so help, get the masses out there, with the marketing. And we need somebody with your credentials, your authenticity, with your authenticness to help promote our product that you're authentic to. He's like, no problem. Hey man, yo, check this out, man. Boom, boom, boom. So I got that on camera. And also, just to throw this out there, it's just getting 35 minutes in. We bumped into Jada Kiss at a CVS, and then me and Marcus and our crew, I was like, yo, Marcus, stop being nervous and shy and talk to him. And so we catch him in CVS. Yo, this is fire. He does his, his signature, sound effect, or, whatever. I'm just trying to speed through it so if the camera storage cuts off. So we got Jada Kiss, Winky Wright. Oh, man. I forgot that dude, Cam Newton. I think we got Cam Newton, yeah, when he was coming up. We caught him on camera, like 2007 or something, I believe. That was Cam Newton. But yeah, we got a lot of celebrities on that joint. We got one that run DMC cast. I mean, there's a lot of people. Spliff Star. There was a lot of people out there. So I got past that dude, got these celebrities on there. Then I take the bottle of Hennessy and Patron downstairs to the main stage. I was like, yo, I'm already up in VIP. I'm going to make myself known on stage and have the DJ play our CD. And so my brothers are downstairs and the crew and shit. So I'm filming up top once I get infiltrated. They didn't know what happened once I went to the bathroom. I just did a Houdini disappearing trick. They're like, where does Zoe go? But when I came back down, they're like, yo, when Zoe disappears, we know he's up to something. So I was gone for like 20 minutes. And all of a sudden I'm looking over the balcony and I'm just filming. I see Mike. He looking at me. I'm holding the bottle. And then something tells me, Spirit Team's like, yo, make your way on stage, infiltrate on stage, and show the world what's good with your music. So we go downstairs, see DJ Reggie. I forgot it's all on camera. So forgive me if I'm butchering their names. And I'm talking to DJs like, yo, man, we from the DMV, man. We're the hottest thing, boom, boom. We're going to be the next hottest thing by then. Check our shit out. Play the music, play track 4, yada, yada, bump this, yada, yada. And he's like, all right, bet. So I'm giving them shots too and shit like that, just getting everybody nice and saucy and toasty. And then I walk up to the end of the stage. There's females. Oh, yeah, shit. I pull some females on stage. I pull my boy Mike on stage. And then he's like, hey, man. He grabs the bottle head. We're all getting twisted. We changed the whole algorithm of that club that night. We ran the club since I got on stage and bada bing, bada boomed. And then Mike was pulling up everybody else. We had the girls upstairs dancing, the DJ, shit there. The whole energy changed. And that's documented, so ain't no bullshit. That's when that game song was out. I was like, that game song was hot. I forgot the lyrics, but that joint was, we had the whole crowd just. Yo, so like, the moral of the story is I used to use my imagination, see the whole scene play out, be that character, and walk within the light of that imagination. And 9 out of 10 times, I got past the right scenarios, or the right places, by saying the right things. I'll say one more scenario, and then I'll leave it at this. We were at Rock the Bells, and I met the owner at 9:30 due to a friend of mine connection. That was funny as shit too. We were at 9:30 club. It was like during a birthday bash, and like the radio station was hosting something, and there's some cats out there promoting their music. And I remember one of them bumped into an associate of mine, and he asked him, "Hey man, you need some tickets?" Had he get inside? He looked at him and was like, "Nah, Alonzo's good, man. He knows the owner. We getting in already. He's getting the tickets now at the booth." His face dropped like. All of a sudden I walk from the booth. Hey, what's going on, brother? Yeah, man. You ready to go inside? Yeah, cool. Say like, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody else out there was needing tickets, so he was out there scalping tickets for his joint. You know, he's doing the right thing. But it was just funny. When I saw that face on him, they just changed the algorithms. Like, damn, I thought you needed me. Nah, dog. I used to be the dog, but now I'm the boss. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's another way of infiltrating. It was during like an Erica Lauryn Hill birthday bash. We were upstairs promoting the same Mecca CD. I like using this tactic when I go to some of these bouncers. I'll go up to them and I'm like, because I used to have a lanyard around my neck. There's so many infiltration tactics that I can't disclose right now. I'll tell you. I used to go up to the bouncers like, hey man, you know, this is a good place. You guys are jamming here. I don't even mean to tell you this, but you look like a trustworthy person. You look like a trustworthy brother. I'm actually working for the fire marshal, and I got to make sure that the population is good and you guys are actually withholding and following regulations. So basically, you see I'm here, I'm not going to cause no like attention, so that's why I need your trust right now. So I'm just going to go back here and make sure you guys are doing straight, and we'll just keep it moving, you know what I mean? We don't need to draw no extra attention, we don't need to. He look at me, I'll look at him, non-blinking. He's like, yeah, you look military-ish, man. All right, brother. Some people say that, and some people just look at me just to make sure I'm not bullshit. But in my mind, I was like, I'm here for the greater good to promote my music so we can get further in this game. So I already know there's too many gatekeepers, so we got to find a way in this bitch. He's like, bet. So I'll go back there, rock the bells. I tried to see Nas when he got off stage, but his bodyguard stiffed armed me like a champion, so I gotta reality check. All right, so it's not that easy. Then I'm back in the hallway, then I bump into Ghostface Killer again. I've seen him like 3 or 4 times. And I was like, hey, what's up, brother? I love your fucking album, Bulletproof Wallets. You ready to smoke another one? We smoked like four or five times every time we linked up with each other. Just chill, just kept it chill with him. I wasn't no group of shills. Like, yo, what's good, brother, man? I respect your music, bada bada. Kept it like that. We were just smoking and just kicking the shit. So he saw me. We went in the fucking room where Mos Def just finished the movie 16 Blocks. Like, Mos Def was in the back room. Tribe Called Quest. Q-Tip was back there. One of Nas's singers, when Nas came out with the album In instead of Nigga, that album was sick. He had one of the singers in the back room. And Tribe Called Quest. And De La Soul. There was a few different people there, and I was back there, and we were just blazing, and I was trying to get Mos Def to take a picture. I was like, stop being shy, come on, man. He's like, no, I don't take pictures. And then Q-Tip came, and he's like, I can't smell, I gotta go on stage. Then my brother texted me, he's like, yo, where you at? I'm like, yo, I'm backstage with Mos Def and them. He's like, oh, that's what's holding up the show. That shit was lunching because they were delayed on stage. I went back there, we were getting it in, so that shit was fucking lunching. And we delayed them from getting on stage. And then Marcus texted me. He's like, yo, where you at? I said, I'm backstage. He's like, of course you are. That's why it's delayed. But long story short, man, I got into most places. And we made things happen with the bravery and the imagination. So if you guys are imaginative, step into that. You see the shirt, because you're your own reality. Whatever you have within must be without, as long as you don't have a lot of chaos and clutter inside of here to create that chaos reality. My brother told me back in the days, like, so you need to clean up your room, man. I was like, it's an organized mess. Because I can always find everything when I need it. It's true. But he said, I promise you, the less clutter you have in here, it reflects how your brain is. And I was like, I never looked at it like that. So when I made my spot nice and tidy, it alleviated all the stress in my brain. I was like, damn, that's crazy. So like how my outside reflects, it reflects how my CPU is, my brain. It is. If you have a lot of shit going on here, you're going to reflect that when you get home. Just toss clothes on the bed and shit. I've never been like that. I've been in some people's houses. They got clothes piled up in their beds and just smell like funk magunks, and they walking around all nose blind and shit. I've been a nose blind cat too. People coming up, I smell like backwards in here. It's like, yeah, I've been chiefing. Yeah, okay. It smells a little stiff in there. Open the windows. Yeah, I get you. I ain't perfect either, right? But I'm very sanitary. But some people just have clothes piled up and shit, and just bathrooms all in disarray, and just baby J's. I don't know how they can live like that. Just pigsties, hoarders. So when you have your area clean and tidy, that just reflects how your brain and your thoughts are. I hope you took away something from tonight's or today's download about using your imagination and walking in your power and walking in your light and not being ashamed of it. Just because someone else is not as outgoing as you, don't let their insecurities and fears stick on you like Velcro, all right? And a lot of times, don't even tell people your plans. Don't even tell them what's going on. Because a lot of times I was telling people my creative things and I would expect a certain reaction. And they'd just be blank-faced or looking at their phone or playing an Instagram music video when I'm in the middle of talking. I'm like, you disrespectful motherfuckers, yo. Ash, yo, if you're telling me something about you, I'll be wide-eyed, full attention. It just shows you how trifling people are, man. They ain't supportive. That's why a lot of these people come out with companies and they come out with alias names. And you get a lot more support when you come out with the alias name or something Latin, right? And people will be supporting that all the time because they've been indoctrinated to support the other man versus themselves. They've been supported. They've been indoctrinated to support someone else versus their own people. It's terrible how it is. They would rather see you fail than them support you. Oh man, I can't have you be more successful than me, so I ain't gonna show support. But you see them looking at your stories and shit. It's fucking crazy. It's funny when you see certain people don't like your shit after a certain video, or they reach out to you to check your temperature. It's like, it's terrible, man. You already know what you're real me, man. Fuck. But enough of that redundant ass message. But I know this is gonna help a lot of people, millions of people when it hits you. If it resonates, hopefully it elevates. I love each and every one of you. Stay prayed up. Don't let no fear or anything knock you off your pedestal. Love yourself first and foremost, so you will never be tricked again by false love. Once you love yourself so much, you know what true, authentic love feels like, and you will not expect anything less. You demand your dignity and your respect at all times. And if anyone tries to puncture that protective shield and want to talk sideways out their neck, and you know us intuitive people, we can pick up the slightest slight. You know what I mean? You may think you got away with it, but we notated it. I'm like, okay, oh, shit, all right. Okay, all right, bet. Well, he wouldn't have said that if I didn't do this video and I said that, so that makes sense why he connected the Lego brick on that one. There's no other reason why his narrative or her narrative was like that. Okay? Oh, game of tic-tac-toe. All right, I already got one X in that joint. How many more I might want to fill in? So we're not stupid. We're the parents of the game. You guys are just the kids. And you think you're smarter than the parents, the spiritual guardians. It ain't happening. And I'm still learning every day. So I don't know shit until God tells me, really. But I love each and every one of you. I'm going to borrow from Jerry Springer. You take care. Oh, and until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. Doing it well.